This is Jeopardy! Please welcome our contestants. Player 1. Player 2. Player 3. And now, here is the host of Jeopardy, Alex Brevet.
Thank you, Johnny Gilbert, and thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. Let's take you right now into the Jeopardy round. Clues are worth $200 to $1,000 in these categories: fish, bird, or mammal; Edgar Allan Poe; Kmart; This Is Your Life, Abe Lincoln; Da Plane, and Papa Was a Rolling Stone. Player 1, you start. The Skate. Player 1. Sorry, that's wrong. Anyone else? Yes, player 2. Right. Player 2, make a selection, please, as we continue. According to an 1833 description, Poe dressed entirely in this color. It's player 1. Yes, you're out of the hole. Where do we begin, player 1? The tarsier. Okay, player 2. Anyone else want to hazard a guess on this? It's player 3. No. Any other takers? Player 1? Yep. We return to you, player 1. After criminal activities by this secret society, Oklahoma was placed under martial law in September of 1923. Okay, player 1. Good. We return to you, player 1. The 10th letter of the Greek alphabet. Yes, player 1. That's it. We return to you, player 1. Technically, it's known as the patella. Okay, player 1. Right. Player 1. Pick again. Max Sennett's silent movie Bumblers. Okay, player 3. Anyone else want to hazard a guess on this? Here's the response we were looking for. The Keystone Cops. Player 1, back to you. Born in 1862, he founded the Vienna Secession School of Painting and also created vibrant portraits of women. Here's the correct response. Gustav Klimt. Player 1, pick again. The Honey Creeper. It's player 1. Sorry. Anyone else care to try to come up with a correct response? Here's the correct response. A bird. Please pick again, player 1. The bongo. It's player 3. That's it.
Yeah! Woo!
Player 3, you're in command of the board as we continue, right? The cichlid. It's player 3. Correct. Good. Back on the plus side. Select again. In 1870, Congress granted her an annual pension of $3,000. Call her Sugar, Mama, or simply your wife. Here's... It's player 1. Right you are. All right, let's get back into this. Player 1. Marcia Hunt was the mom of his first child, Karis. He had daughter number 2, Jade, with Bianca. It's player 1. That's right. Way to go. You again, player 1. This guitarist originally named one daughter Dandelion. She goes by Angela these days. Let's hear it, player 3. No, that's not right. Any other takers? Player 2. Yes. Hey, you're on the plus side. Player 2, start us. This bassist wed Mandy Smith. After the two split, his son dated Mandy's mom. He could have been stepdad to his ex-stepmom. It's player 2. Right. Player 2. Pick again. Knock on this guitarist, Leah and Tyrone's dad, who joined the band in 1975. Here's the response we were looking for. Ronnie Wood. Player 2, back to you for our next selection. Serafina's Pop. He began manning the drums for the Stones in 1963. We're talking about Charlie Watts. Please pick again, player 2. Poe's wife, who passed away at age 24, had this name, like the state at whose university Edgar studied. Let's hear it, player 1. That's it. Player 1, you start. The first commercial plane flights out of the United States were in 1920 between Key West and this nearby country. Player 1?
Oh, no!
Anyone else want to hazard a guess on this? The correct response is Cuba. You again, player 1. In 2004, this airline introduced non-stop flights between Newark and Changi Airport. Yes, player 1? Anyone else? Yes, player 2. Sorry. That's incorrect. Anyone else care to try to come up with a correct response? Let's hear it, player 3. You are correct. Player 3, you start us off. You said of this general, "I can't spare this man, he fights. He sure seems to be enjoying the green room. It's..." Here's what we were looking for. Ulysses Grant. Player 3, pick again. It's the Daily Double. You are currently in second place. Please enter your wager. Answer. The first obituary of Poe, which spoke of the frailties of genius, appeared in this city's Sun newspaper. Sorry, that's wrong. Here's what we were looking for. Baltimore. We return to you, player 3. In 1842, Poe reviewed this British author's Barnaby Rudge, which features, a human-like raven. Here's what we wanted. Charles Dickens. Please pick again, player 3. Poe won an 1833 short story contest with a story about one of these found in a bottle. Let's hear it, player 1. Nope. Sorry. Any other takers? It's player 3. Right you are. Player 3, back to you for our next selection. In 1860, he got 12 electoral votes, but you got the job. Feel free to debate. We're talking about Stephen Douglas. You get to pick again, player 3. You said if this general is not using the army, I should like to borrow it for a while. Say hello to... Let's hear it, player 2. You are correct. Player 2, you start. Secretary of War for Franklin Pierce, some called him Mr. President, though certainly not you. Say hello to... Let's hear it, player 2. You are correct. Player 2, you pick again, please. Flying at the then incredible speed of 575 miles per hour, the Boeing 707 began commercial flight service in this decade. Let's hear it, player 2.
Aww.
Sorry, that's wrong. Anyone else want to hazard a guess on this? Player 1? No, sorry. Anyone else want to hazard a guess on this? Yes, player 3? Yes. Player 3, where do we start? This U.S. company created the venerable DC-10 jetliner. Here's the response we were looking for. McDonnell Douglas. And here's the $1,000 clue. The first commercial passenger transatlantic service was by Pan Am in 1939 between New York City and this French port. Yes, player 3? Yes. Player 1 is in third place and will select first in the Double Jeopardy round, as we always do, right after this break. Categories for the Double Jeopardy round are Tough Tunes, Colleges and Universities, Title Possessions, Adventures in the Air, Science Time, and Vocabulary. Player 1, start us. Of praise, increase, or mock. What you do to something, you augment. Okay, player 1. Correct. You're out of the hole. The body of songs a chanteuse is prepared to sing, or of plays a company is prepared to put on. Yes, player 2. Good. All right, let's get back into this. Player 2 has control. Answer. The first of the 2 daily doubles. You're in second place, so what is your wager going to be? You need to select your... Here is your daily double clue. This word for a type of treaty is from the French for agreement. That's correct. Player 2, back to you. Noun for a person who's sorry and is ritually showing his sorrow under the guidance of a confessor. Yes, player 2. You are correct. You again, player 2. The trustees of the College of California bought 160 acres of land north of Oakland and named the site this in 1866. Okay, player 2. You got it. Player 2, you pick again, please. This Tulsa college was founded by and named for an evangelist, later the school's chancellor. Player 3? Nope. Anyone else? Let's hear it, player 2. Sorry, that's wrong. Anyone else want to hazard a guess on this? Player 1? Hey, you're right. Where do we begin, player 1? The godfather of soul, James Brown, can't dance because of these in his pants. Yes, player 1? Correct. Player 1, pick again. Vanessa Williams sang, "Just when I thought our chance had passed, you go and do this." Player 1? Yeah, you're right. Player 1, choose again. In a Michael Martin Murphey song, this title horse busted down its stall. In a blizzard he was lost. Okay, player 2. No, sorry. Any other takers? Let's hear it, player 3. Sorry, that's wrong. Anyone else want to hazard a guess on this? Player 1? That's right. Way to go. You again, player 1. Neil Diamond sang that a woman from this state shines with her own kind of light. We're talking about Kentucky. Player one, back to you for... In a Led Zeppelin tune, Robert Plant was packing his bags for these title mountains, familiar to Tolkien fans. Here's what we were looking for. The Misty Mountains. Player one, you pick again, please. This adjective for a terrifying experience comes from a toothed farm implement used on plowed ground. Let's hear it, player one. Nope. Oh! Sorry. Anyone else? The correct response is harrowing. Player one, back to you. Of Henry Adams. Okay, player two. No. Any other takers? Okay, player three? Nope. Sorry. Anyone else want to hazard a guess on this? Okay, player one? Right. We return to you, player one. Of Edwin Drood. Let's hear it, player two. Correct. Player two, you start. Of Nat Turner. Yes, player three? That is correct. All right, let's get back into this. Player three has control of Duddy Kravitz. We're talking about The Apprenticeship. Player three, back to you for our next selection. Founded as a Methodist college in 1838, it moved to Durham, North Carolina in 1892. Okay, player two. Anyone else care to try to come up with a correct response? Here's what we wanted. Duke University. Player three, you pick again, please. Here's Sarah from our Clue Crew with the clue.
Used to date artifacts, this isotope has 6 protons and 8 neutrons in its nucleus.
Yes, player one? Yes. A lot of clues, a lot of categories. Player one. Rubbing a balloon builds up electrons that then attract this particle, from the Greek for first. Let's hear it, player one. Anyone else want to hazard a guess on this? Okay, player three? Sorry. Anyone else care to try to come up with a correct response? Okay, player two. Right. All right, let's get back into this. Player two has control. Answer, the second daily double. You are currently in the lead. How much are you going to wager, player 2? And the clue. Darwin defined it as preservation of favorable variations and the rejection of injurious variations. Congratulations, you're still in first, player 2. You get to pick again, player 2. In food, iodine reacts with this carbohydrate, also known as amylum. If it's present, the iodine turns a bluish-black color. The correct response is starch. Player 2, choose again. Jimmy to start us off.
The modern sport of bungee jumping got off the ground in 1979 when this school's dangerous sports club jumped off a bridge in Bristol, England.
Here's the correct response. Oxford. Player 2, back to you for our next selection. The athletic teams of this Massachusetts college are nicknamed the Lord Jeffs. Yes, player 3? Sorry, that's wrong. Anyone else want to hazard a guess on this? Here's the correct response. Amherst College. Select again. Of Young Werther. Player 2.
Woo!
That's correct. We return to you, player 2. Hitting a speed of about 800 miles per hour, Chuck Yeager broke this barrier in October of 1947. Player 1? Correct. Where do we begin, player 1? In 1907, Paul Cornu became the first man to fly freely in one of these horizontally rotored aircraft. Here's what we wanted. A helicopter. Player 1, back to you. August 1983 saw the first night launch of this reusable U.S. orbital vehicle. Okay, player 2. No. Anyone else want to hazard a guess on this? Player 3? No. Anyone else? Okay, player 1. Right. Select again. Taking 16 hours in 1919, British aviators Alcock and Brown became the first to cross this large body of water non-stop. The correct response is the Atlantic Ocean. Player 1, you pick again, please. In 1909, Louis Blériot became the first person to fly in a plane over this, between Great Britain and France. Player 2. No. Anyone else? Let's hear it, player 1. Hey, you're right. Here's the $2,000 clue. Below the atmosphere is this sphere, from the Greek for stone. Here's the correct response.
The lithosphere.
Oh, sorry, player 3. You'll not be progressing to Final Jeopardy. Here's the Final Jeopardy category. Children's Lit. What are you going to wait? And the clue reads, this Roald Dahl book begins, these two very old people are the father and mother of Mr. Bucket. Did you come up with the correct response? And that will cost you. What did you say? And that will set you back. Here's the correct response. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Congratulations, player 1. You're the winner. So long.